Okay, hello, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Chris, and I'm one of the Shortcuts educators here. So, some of you may be familiar with what we do on a Wednesday. We usually have pretty much a whole day of webinars. Today, in particular, we are going to be running through all aspects of stock. So, we're going to basically deconstruct it in each individual webinar. So, of course, this is our first webinar to get us started, sort of get the ball rolling. Perfect. So as with all of our webinars, they're always recorded and they're usually posted onto YouTube within 48 to 72 hours. Once we've got them all uploaded and popped on there, you can watch them back. If you've never been onto our YouTube channel before, I would definitely sort of highly recommend you sort of do, because we've got loads of great videos. And of course, we've got all of our previous webinars and other sort of information on there as well. Perfect. So if everybody's ready, we can get started. Hopefully as well, it's just where I am. It's absolutely throwing it down with rain. There's a little bit of a thunderstorm as well. Hopefully there won't be any noises or disruptions in the background. So I apologize sort of in advance for the weather if we have anything like that, but it should be okay. But I've sort of been keeping my eye on it out the office window, and it is pretty bad at the moment. So hopefully you've got some sort of nicer weather where everybody else is. Okay, so a little bit of initial housekeeping just before we get right into it. Now, some of you may have been in my webinars before, and of course are familiar with this. The duration of this particular webinar is going to be around 30 to 40 minutes long, okay? Because like I said, we are going to break down each section, okay? We're going to take it nice and slow, so we can sort of, if you want to follow, you can. If you want to make notes, of course, you can do all of that kind of stuff. So of course my microphone has been switched on. Hopefully everyone can hear me already. We've got this far and hopefully everyone can hear me. Just to let you know, if you are listening in with a headset, with a microphone or anything along those lines, unfortunately you're not going to be able to speak back to me, but do feel free to drop me some messages or comments or anything like that. And of course, your speakers must be turned on to hear this webinar. And as I just said, if you just want to, make some questions or some comments throughout the webinar, please feel free to. Okay, so in this session, we will be covering accessing your products, adding new brands, lines, suppliers, and updating your minimum and maximum levels. So we're going to kind of do it in the order we would as if we were doing it in a real life scenario. Okay, so we're going to be looking at accessing your products, your stock, of course, adding these new brands, the lines of products, your suppliers, and updating your minimum and maximum levels. So that is going to be the first segment we're going to go through. So some key words we're going to see these throughout our webinars, but you may wish to just jot these down, remember them, familiarize yourself with them, all of that kind of good stuff. So a supplier, okay, we're going to be looking at suppliers. So a supplier is a person or an organization that provides something needed, such as a product or service, okay? And you'll probably see in my demo, mine is Salons Direct, okay? That is my supplier. A company, a business organization which makes goods, i.e. Kerastars. Okay, so we're just going to kind of link these up later on. You're going to see where I sort of bring these suppliers and companies and things like that, where I reference them from. And then we have our line of products, which is a group of related products, all categorized under a single brand name that is sold by the same company, i.e. Nutritive. So we would have our line Nutritive, which falls under our company Kerastars. It's just a way to sort of umbrella them and categorize them all together. So we've got 3 key words there, and we are going to see these throughout our stock journey for the remainder of the day. Okay, so some of you have probably already accessed your stock, or will at least be familiar with where it sits. If you're not on your Shortcuts Fusion system, it is just simply over on the right-hand side. We just simply click onto the stock button, and then we click the product buttons directly underneath that. And that's how we can access our stock. So it's going to be nice and easy. Okay, so we're clicking into stock, and then we're going to click into products. Okay, then the first thing we're going to do, and of course we are going to do a live demonstration as well, but I'm just kind of giving you everyone just a little bit of a head start this morning. So then what we're going to do is in the bottom right hand corner where this circle is, this sort of oval, we're going to click onto the drop down arrow. And once we've clicked into the drop down arrow, we're simply going to toggle to where it says supplier, because what we're going to do is we're going to add our supplier in first and foremost. Okay, then to add a brand new supplier, all we do is we click the new button, and we can see the red arrow just pointing at the new button just here where it says new, and we're going to add our new supplier in. And of course, you may remember from the keyword slide, our supplier is going to be called Salons Direct. Okay, so that's where we're purchasing our products from. So now we've got our supplier in, we can add some extra information to our supplier. Okay, now you see here, if you wish to email your orders through Shortcuts, and we're going to get to automated ordering a little bit later on. I think it's our third slide or fourth slide, third or fourth webinar. I apologize, third or fourth webinar. So if you wish to email your orders through, I'm going to show you a very quick solution to add all of your rep details and your supplier details on there, all of the email addresses, things like that. Okay, so we're going to show you that later on. Then what we're going to do is we're going to add a brand new company. Okay, so like we said earlier, we're going to add a brand new company in, and our company for our demonstration is going to be called Kerastars. So what we would do, we would toggle back to company and line, and we would click just where it says the new button, exactly the same as before, and we would add a brand new company in. In this case, it's going to be called Kerastars. Then once we have our company in, so we've got Kerastars in, we would then move and add our line of products. Now our line of products is always added to the existing company. So I've got my line of products called Nutritive. So that is going to sit under my Kerastars company name. So we would click onto the new button again, and we would add our new line in, which of course is Nutritive. Then once we have our line of products, i.e. Nutritive, we can add our specific product to that line. So again, we would click the new button and we would simply add our specific product in. Now, when we're adding the product in, please be as detailed as humanly possible. So you can see I've got Bain Satin 1 shampoo, 250 milliliters. Then to the right of that, I've got my buy price, I've got my sell price, and then I've got my current. That's what we're going to look at later on. That's our current stock levels. And then we have our maximum levels and we have our minimum levels. Now, we're not going to worry too much about maximum and minimum levels just for the time being. We're actually going to touch on that in around 5 to 10 minutes in our live demonstration. So we're literally, all we're doing here is literally just having a good head start. Perfect. So with that being said, let's jump straight into our live demonstration. We're going to go into lots of detail. We're going to break it right down, but we're going to take it nice and slow. Okay. Perfect. So, of course, if you do wish to contact us, please feel free to drop us an email at education@shortcuts.co.uk, or you can give us a call on 0161 972 4900. Perfect. So thank you ever so much. Let's jump straight into our live demonstration. So all I'm going to do is just simply open up my main Shortcuts Fusion system. Okay, so that's all we're doing here, just opening up Shortcuts. Then over onto the right-hand side of our navigation bar, where we've got all of our tiles, where we've got all of our buttons, what we're simply going to do is we're just literally going to click the button just where it says stock. And I'm going to circle that now. Okay, so we've clicked onto stock. Now for the time being, all we're going to do is we're just going to click where it says products, okay? And that is where all of our products, all of our companies, all of our suppliers, all of our brands will sit. So we're gonna click onto products. Okay, then what we're gonna do, we're just gonna have a quick breakdown of the screen we're looking at here. Just gonna familiarize ourselves with everything. Okay, so in the top left-hand corner, you will notice I've already got two existing brands, two existing companies, Davines and Paul Mitchell. Okay, but we're not gonna worry about that for the time being. To the right of that, you'll also notice we've got some columns. Okay, and we're gonna touch on these columns a little bit later on. But what I would like everyone to do, it's a handy tip. What I would recommend everyone does is, you see we've got these columns just along the top here. What I would recommend we do is, if we right click, so we're going to right click with the right hand side of our mouse, just up here where it says active. And we're going to go down to here. And can you see where it says properties? It's our third option down. And what we're going to do is we're going to click the button where it says retail just here. And what that does, if we scroll to the right, it gives us another column, okay? Now, the reason I would recommend we do this is it lets us know whether this company, this line, or each individual product is either retail or professional, okay? And you can also toggle between them. So if that particular product should be professional and it's retail, you can toggle between them there. So it's nice and easy. So that's the first thing I would just recommend everyone does. You don't have to do it, but I would, of course, everyone does do that as much as possible. Okay, so all we did, we right-clicked and went down to properties. Now, what is the difference between retail products and professional products? Well, retail products, we say, are of course sold to the general public, but they can also be used professionally. And they're typically stylized on the shortcut system with a buy price and a sell price. So let's have a look at that. In case this is all professional, let's find ourselves a nice retail product. So we can see that there. So we can see which of our lines of products are retail. So let's just expand it. And then we can see here, we've got a buy price and we've got a sell price. So that's a quick way to stylize that we've got a retail or a professional product. So retail has a buy price and a sell price. Now, a professional product, we tend to say can only be used professionally and not sold to the general public. And again, that is typically stylized on shortcuts, written in italics just here. So we can see my 1000 milliliter shampoo or conditioner, sorry. And it only has a buy price, but no sell price, because of course, we're not going to sell this to the general public. Okay. So that is just a very quick way to determine between retail and professional products. Then what we're going to do in the bottom left-hand corner, we can see where it says show me inactive. Now, we don't typically delete products on shortcuts. The reason for that is if that product has been sold in the past, it will appear on somebody's history, it will appear on your reports, it will appear on your trading summary. So we don't typically delete it, we just make it inactive. Okay, I'm going to show you in a minute how to make it inactive. But if you have made any products inactive at any point, we can simply click the show me inactive button and that will show you all of your inactive products. Now that's a handy tip if you think to yourself some of your products may be missing. Somebody may have accidentally clicked the inactive button and that's where it will sit. Now underneath here, we have this little toggle button just here where it says all, okay? Now what that means is we are looking at both professional products and retail products. And again, we can use our handy new column to quickly determine whether a product is professional or retail. Now, if you wish to only look at retail products, you can simply click the drop down arrow, click onto retail, and this will only ever show you any retail products, okay? And of course, you can do exactly the same for professional. Now, again, if you find yourself thinking, where's all of my professional products gone? It's a very good chance somebody might have accidentally toggled between this or simply scrolled through using the wheel of the mouse, just like that by accident. So I'd always recommend keeping it on all, okay? Perfect. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at adding a brand new supplier. Okay, this is a supplier not already on the system. Now, if we remember, a supplier is where we purchase our products from. Okay. Now, the reason we need a supplier is later on when we do our automated ordering, the system will need to know, of course, where you purchase these products from. Now, of course, if you're thinking, well, I order L'Oreal directly from L'Oreal, well, in that case, L'Oreal will, of course, be your supplier. So that's nice and easy, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add a new supplier to our system. Now, to do this, in the bottom right-hand corner, we can see we've got this little toggle arrow just here, where it says sort by company and line. So what we're going to do, we're going to hit the drop down arrow to the bottom right hand corner and we're going to click supplier, okay, because we're going to add a new supplier in. So we've clicked onto supplier. We've got some existing suppliers here. That's absolutely fine, but we're going to add a new one, okay? So right down the bottom here, we're going to simply click the green button where it says new. And let's add that supplier in. So you may remember from my keywords at the beginning, I called my supplier Salons Direct, okay? So this is where we purchase our products from. So another example could be Aston and Fincher, Sally's, anything like that. But of course, as I said a couple of minutes ago, if you purchase L'Oreal directly from L'Oreal, L'Oreal is your supplier, all of that kind of stuff, okay? So that's all we're gonna do. We're just literally going to click new and add our new supplier in. Then what we're going to do is we're going to click that supplier, i.e. Salons Direct, and towards the center bottom of the screen, we are going to click details. Then you can see we've got all of our supplier details. So we've got their address, we've got the town, we've got the postcode, we've got your account number. This is a great way to tidy up your sort of paperwork, your admin. You can collate everything here. Let Shortcuts do all of the hard work for you. So you can pop your rep details in, your supplier details. Now, what you are going to need to do, if you do wish to email your order through, when we talk about automated orderings in the next couple of webinars, what you will need to do is pop the email address in both of these sections just here. Okay, we're going to pop that in just there. And then we're going to click the done button just to the almost center of the screen, shall we say. Okay, so we've added our supplier. So the system now knows where we're going to be purchasing these products from. So on the bottom right-hand corner, we're going to simply toggle back to company and line. Perfect. And you can see we've got some existing company and lines here, but we're going to ignore those for the time being. We're going to add a new company. Okay. So to add a new company or a new brand, whichever you wish to refer to it as, what we're going to do is we're going to click the business button, okay, because it's going to be a business product. It's sold from the business. So we click the business button towards the top left-hand corner, and we're going to click the new button. And at the top, it says company name, new company. Now, you may remember from the keyword slide at the beginning, we called this Kerastars, okay? Then directly underneath that, you will see we have a default supplier. Now, this is exactly why we do the supplier first, because if we click where it says default supplier, you will now see we have our supplier here, Salons Direct. So we're going to click onto that. And again, you can add your Kerastars rep details on here, their address, everything like that. Okay, because of course that is a great way to collate all of your admin, all of your paperwork. And we're going to click done. Okay, so let's just recap what we've done. We've added a new supplier, and our new supplier was called Salons Direct. And then we added a new company, i.e. Kerastars, okay? So what we're going to do now is we're going to add the line of products that falls underneath the Kerastars banner, okay? So our line of products, again, you may remember from the slide at the beginning, was called Nutritive, okay? Now, of course, if you're using Redken, a line under Redken could be Color Magnetics. If you're using Davines, it could be Nunu, Minu, OI family, all of those kind of things, just to give you a bit of an example moving forward. If you use Paul Mitchell, it could be Awapui, Tea Tree, anything like that. These lines are a great way to categorize the specific products better. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a new line of products. Now the line always has to be popped under the company name. So for this, think of this as like opening up a door and popping something inside the door or taking something out of the door. So what we're going to do is we're going to click onto our company, which is Kerastars. So we're just literally going to click onto it. And then we're going to add a new line. So we're going to click the new button exactly the same as before. And you'll now see we've got like this little step, this little drop down just here where it says new line. And now we can add our line of products, which of course is going to be nutritive, if you remember from our slide right at the beginning with the keywords. So we've got our line of products. So that's our little step moving down. Now, step 3 for this is to simply add the specific products. Now, of course, again, we always add the specific products to the line it falls under. Now, to do this, we simply click onto it, a bit like opening up the door. And then exactly the same as before, we're going to click the new button. And now we're going to add our new product that falls under our line. And this is where we're going to be really specific. So we're going to call it Bane Satin 1. If you're familiar with Kerastars, you'll know that's obviously a shampoo. I believe it's for normal to dry hair. And then we're just going to pop the 250 milliliters. We're going to be really specific. Okay. Then typically what we have here, we have our buy price. Now, depending on how your system is set up, the majority of systems are set up that your buy price, the price you input here, is exclusive of VAT. Now, when it comes to doing your reports, the 20% VAT will be added on, but typically our reps tend to give us our buy prices excluding the VAT, okay? Now, if they don't, please let us know. We can change the tax code on your shortcut system, but 99.9% of all salons have the tax code set up correctly because we work quite closely with reps. We know how they provide the information. Okay, so we're going to pop your buy price in. Now, the buy price is what you purchase it from your supplier at. Now, of course, our supplier is Salons Direct. So we're going to pop our buy price in there, and we're just going to call it £9.95. Then we have our sell price. Our sell price is what we retail this product at. Okay, now this is including VAT, okay? So we're just going to call it £21.95. You'll probably notice that we have these two columns here. They say VAT on buy price, VAT on sell price. We're not going to worry about the average cost, but what you will also notice we have here is a current stock level, okay? Now, of course, you could manually type in the current levels. That's how many you have in stock. But in just a few moments, well, actually, I think it's in about half an hour. We're going to be running through another webinar where I can show you how to do a stock take to ensure that this current level is bang on. But what we are going to look at is we're going to look at our maximum and minimum levels, okay? So what we can do is you'll notice it's quite hard to read all of this, just why we get sort of confident with what it says. So what we're going to do, when we get these arrows sort of in the dividing columns, we're going to click and drag and just make these a little bit wider. Now, it doesn't matter how wide you make them. We do have the slidey bar down the bottom where we can move backwards and forwards. So we've got our maximum level and we have our minimum level. So what do these mean? So our maximum level is the number of products we aim to have on the shelf after we've received an order, okay? Or essentially it's just the maximum amount of products we wish to keep. We don't want any more than that. Now, typically we keep it around 6 because you may be familiar with a lot of our products come in packs of 6. And then we have our minimum level. Our minimum level is what the current stock level will fall below so that an automated order can be created in the background to bring it back up to your maximum. So these 3 columns work in unison with each other. So let's just pop a minimum level in there. So what this means is when the current level, which is currently 0, when this current stock level here falls below 2, which of course it has, an order in the background will be generated to bring it back up to 6. So in this case, it would generate an order for 6 products, okay? Because the deficit between 6 and 0 is, of course, 6. If the current stock level was 1, it would generate an order of 5. 6 minus 1 is 5. So it would generate an order of 5 products to bring it back up to 6. Now, if your current stock level was 3, of course, it wouldn't generate an order because this hasn't fallen below our minimum level. Now, just to let you know, if you change your minimum level to 1, you will have to completely sell out of your current stock level before an order is placed because, of course, the number below 1 is 0. So I'd always recommend keeping this at 2, okay? Now you'll notice as we change our current stock levels from 3 to 6, all of that kind of stuff, you'll notice the colors change. Now when it goes red, that means we're below our minimum. We really need an order, okay? So it's letting us know, it's a great visual indicator to let us know that we are below our minimum, okay? We can see we've got 0. If we change it to 2, you'll see it's still red. If you change it to 3, you'll notice it changes to orange, okay? Now, the reason for that is it's letting us know we are getting dangerously close to our minimum, okay? So think of this as a bit like traffic lights, okay? So it's a bit of an amber warning to let us know that we are getting quite low. But if we change our current stock level to 7, you'll see it goes green. Now, what that basically means is we've got more than enough in stock, okay? Because our maximum is 6. And our current stock level is 7. So it's basically saying we have enough products in stock. And then to the right-hand side, we of course have the primary barcode, okay? The primary barcode is simply the barcode from the product. If you're using a barcode scanner, you can scan that in there. If not, you can simply manually type the product barcode in just like that. Then to the right of that, we have our active box. To make the product inactive, we simply just take the tick out of the box here. And what it does is it turns it this dark gray shaded color, just like this. And then of course, in the bottom left-hand corner, we can toggle it back, so show me inactive like we did at the beginning, and it will show you your inactive products. So what I'd very much recommend that everyone does from here on out, and when you get a little bit of downtime, easier said than done, I do appreciate, is just go through all of your products, ensure you've got your company, ensure you've got your line, ensure you've got your specific products. And then from there on out, ensure you have your buy price, your sell price, and then ensure you've got your maximum and minimum levels in, okay? Now remember, your maximum level is the number of products you aim to have on your shelf after you've received an order. And your minimum level is what the current stock level will drop below to bring it back up to your maximum. And we don't need to worry too much about the current stock level because our next webinar at 10:30 will show you how to do a stock take to ensure your current stock levels are absolutely bang on, okay? Lovely. So that is the first half. I believe we've got just over half an hour till our next webinar. We will disconnect and reconnect because they're individual webinars. And of course, the people watching this webinar may not wish to watch the next webinar. I would, of course, recommend you do. But we've also got some people that aren't joining us for this webinar that are on our next webinar. So if you do have any questions regarding what we just went through, I'll be more than happy to answer those now. You're very welcome, Alina. No problem whatsoever. Hopefully you'll be able to join us for our next one and we'll be able to continue the flow going. But yeah, thank you ever so much. You're very welcome. Okay, no problem. Just join us on the YouTube channel. It'll be uploaded in the next sort of 2 or 3 days, something along those lines. And they'll all be in order. So you'll just need to simply watch the stock take one, the automated order one, that kind of thing. But that's no problem whatsoever. No worries. Lovely. Any other questions for me this morning? No worries. Yes, I can't remember exactly what it is, but I believe it's youtube.com or .co.uk/users/shortcuts UK. But what I would probably do is we have got hundreds of videos on our YouTube channel. If you just go onto YouTube and type in shortcut software or shortcut stock or anything along those lines, you should eventually find one of the videos I've done. I do a lot of videos week in, week out. So if you find any of the videos that sort of sound like me or look like something I may have done, just click onto the official Shortcuts logo and it will take you to our home page. We've got hundreds and hundreds of videos on there. But I think it's something like I think it's /shortcuts, /users/shortcuts UK. But yeah, if you just go onto just normal YouTube and just type in shortcut software or shortcut software classroom or something along those lines, I've done hundreds and hundreds of videos for you to find. No problem. Thank you very much. Okay, so I think that's it for all of the questions. No worries. If you do think of something and you do happen to be on my next webinar, just drop me a little message at the end. But thank you ever so much for joining me this morning. Hopefully, I'll be able to speak to you all again in the next sort of 30 minutes where we can crack straight on. If you're not able to join me, Alina and some of the other people, thank you ever so much. Been a pleasure speaking to everyone and all the best with your stock. For now, take care. Bye-bye. Thank you ever so much. Bye-bye.